In 2023, a Russian commander was assassinated on an early morning jog in his hometown. To plan and execute the operation, the Ukrainian intelligence service leveraged fitness and locational data from his smartwatch, a GPS-enabled Garmin Fenix 6X. This is the new age of gray zone conflict. In this video, we'll delve deeper into the counterintelligence risks presented by smartwatches, like the Apple Watch. Watches of Espionage is curated by a former CIA case officer with a passion for timepieces. On the WOE YouTube channel, we explore the intersection of watches in the military, intelligence, and national security. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be informed when we release new videos. Whether watch nerds like it or not, the smartwatch is here to stay. Apple sells more Apple Watches in a quarter than the entire Swiss watch industry does in a year. For most people, it makes sense. Smartwatches like the Apple Watch and many Garmin models offer significant lifestyle benefits, including fitness tracking, communication, navigation, and sleep monitoring. However, for CIA officers and special operators who rely on anonymity to securely conduct clandestine operations, these network devices are a counterintelligence vulnerability and a potential opportunity for exploitation by bad actors. The benefits of wearables, including smartwatches, are limitless. Even though their high-tech functionality runs counter to much of the analog-inspired stories at WOE, smartwatches are simply great tools, providing immediate and actionable data to improve productivity and increase situational awareness. Smartwatches constantly collect data on the wearer's location, surroundings, vital signs, and movement. That data is typically first held on the device before being sent to the cloud for storage and analysis. This data is often packaged and sold to third parties for targeted advertisement or other marketing purposes. While this is inherently creepy, for the average person, it isn't a matter of life and death. In the world of intelligence and the military, it can be exactly that, and there are numerous examples of smartwatch data being used for nefarious purposes. In June 2023, Russian submarine commander Stanislav Rozhitsky was shot to death while on an early morning jog in the southern Russian city of Krasnodar. Surprisingly, Rozhitsky maintained a public profile with the fitness tracker Strava tied to his real name. He regularly uploaded data from his GPS-enabled Garmin Fenix 6X smartwatch to catalog running and cycling routes. A review of the data showed a pattern of him entering the 30th anniversary of Victory Park, the ultimate location of his death. The profile even contained publicly accessible pictures of the officer, providing a valuable resource to the assassin for positive identification. In 2017, an independent research firm called Bellingcat utilized Strava data consisting of over 3 trillion GPS data points to pinpoint sensitive U.S. government installations in Syria, Niger, Afghanistan, and elsewhere. The theoretically anonymous data was also manipulated and combined with other data sets to reveal the identities and home locations of several British Special Air Service, or SAS, personnel. Supposedly, anonymized data often isn't. Further, the lengths intelligence services will go to manipulate devices is clear. In September 2024, thousands of pagers and other devices exploded throughout Lebanon, reportedly a covert action carried out by Israel's Mossad. Being connected at all times is convenient, but the ramifications of devices like smartwatches can be serious depending on your line of work. For CIA case officers, a core competency is to recruit and securely handle agents for strategic intelligence collection. This activity ideally occurs in face-to-face clandestine meetings in back alleys, parks, and seedy hotel rooms. To securely collect human intelligence, the case officer must be black, meaning free from hostile surveillance to protect the identity of the asset. Traditionally, this requires a multi-hour surveillance detection route, or SDR, to determine your surveillance status before moving forward. The rise of network devices, including smartwatches and so-called smart cities with facial recognition and ubiquitous surveillance, makes an intelligence officer's job more difficult than ever before. Everything from your car to your toaster and baby monitor constantly collects data, in order to provide a better user experience through the smart network. Smartwatches are just one vector in what has become known as Ubiquitous Technical Surveillance, or UTS. UTS refers to the collection and long-term storage of data in order to analyze and connect individuals with other people, activities, and organizations. Because our data is stored indefinitely, these records are always accessible. In the case of ubiquitous technical surveillance, this data can be used to forensically reconstruct events, no matter how long ago they occurred. Data is the new oil. Most of the data collected is for commercial purposes, either to make a product more effective for its customers or to be packaged and sold for advertising. This ubiquitous network of technical surveillance can be exploited and analyzed in real time or after the fact, potentially revealing the time, location, and identities of those involved in a clandestine act. Counterintelligence, or CI, is any potential risk to an intelligence officer, asset, or operational activity. For case officers, this boils down to revealing the identity, location, or tradecraft of an officer, agent, or clandestine act. The rise of technology has increased the potential points of collection and exploitation, making secure agent handling more difficult. Not long ago, a hostile intelligence service would have to surreptitiously implant a listening device in an office or a beacon on a vehicle. Today, vehicles are integrated into a smart network with constant telemetric collection and everything from TVs to toasters, and your watch now has a microphone that can be remotely activated, a methodology known as a hot mic. In the past, an intelligence officer could simply leave his or her phone or smartwatch at home while operational. However, today, even this lack of activity is an indicator. How often is your phone or smartwatch sitting idle while you are at home for hours at a time? The lack of movement is just as telling as the movement itself. Should a pattern emerge, a hostile intelligence service may allocate physical or technical resources to further monitor that individual during a given time, hoping to exploit a vulnerability. Understanding a target's pattern of life, or POL, is crucial for intelligence collection, and a smartwatch is the ideal tool to collect POL data. Our previously mentioned Russian naval commander took more or less the same jog every day, a pattern that was exploited by an adversary to lethal effect. Smartwatches and other wearables present an opportunity for unprecedented pattern of life collection in real time, but at an even deeper level of analysis, including heart rate, sleep patterns, and other physiological responses. Further, if a device is compromised, the microphone and camera can be activated, providing insight into that individual's home life, relationships, and mental state. Not only can the bad guys see where you are, but they also know how you're doing, including whether you got enough sleep last night or are arguing with your partner, all vulnerabilities that can be exploited. Traditionally, this type of compromised technical system was limited to capabilities by advanced state actors, specifically hackers known as APTs, or Advanced Persistent Threats. However, with the growing private sector intelligence industry, these capabilities are now available to companies, governments, and non-state actors. The U.S. government openly acknowledges the risk of smartwatches and prohibits the wearing of any Bluetooth, wireless, or Wi-Fi-enabled device in a sensitive compartmented information facility, or SCIF, a secure government facility where classified government information can be discussed and transmitted. The U.S. Army recently released a social media campaign calling out the counterintelligence risks of smartwatches. Smartwatches can transmit sensitive information. Don't be an insider threat. Think before you use a smartwatch in the field or on deployment. While smartwatches present a vulnerability for CIA case officers, they present an equally interesting opportunity for the U.S. intelligence community's computer exploitation hackers to target foreign entities for intelligence collection. Exploiting a foreign intelligence officer's smartwatch could facilitate his or her pattern of life, allowing a CIA case officer to bump the foreign official to strike up a conversation in hopes of recruiting that individual as a penetration of that government. Remotely activating the camera and microphone on a foreign president's staffer could result in the collection of foreign intelligence or valuable assessment data on that individual. Despite the CI risks, foreign politicians, including former Russian Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev, have been photographed wearing Apple and other smartwatches. In 2023, Apple sold approximately 40 million smartwatches, and we can expect this number to increase as the adoption of the Apple Watch becomes more widespread. That said, CIA case officers will likely continue to rely on simple quartz and automatic timepieces to conduct an operational act, such as an agent meeting at the exact time and place without leaving behind a digital footprint that can be pieced together by a competent hostile intelligence service. Sometimes it's best to do things the old-fashioned way. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment, and hit the bell icon to be informed when we release new videos. For even more, check out our website, watchesofespionage.com, for more content, as well as our collection of watch straps and other purpose-built tools designed for our community. Until next time, happy hunting.